Here, you don't have to vote at a designated site, and Maricopa County is adding more locations to drop off your ballot than ever before. ABC 15's Nohelani Graf showing us some of these new sites. And Nohe, we know that Adrian Fontes had promised this expanded voting options.
In fact, Nick, he is calling this the most accessible election that Maricopa County has ever had. A lot of the voting sites chosen very strategically so that they're along bus routes. Some will be open nights and weekends. There are more than 100 voting sites overall. 4 are already open. 20 are malls like Chandler Fashion Center here, and there are other retail stores included. So here are some of the big names that you'll recognize on the list that will become polling locations. Biltmore Fashion Square, Arrowhead Mall, the outlets at Anthem, Superstition Springs Center, Santan Village Mall, even the Phoenix Convention Center. And there are so many more, so we're going to put a link to that list on abc15.com. Now, of course, mailing in your ballot is still the preferable option. It's also the safest to limit your exposure to others during the pandemic. But knowing that people still procrastinate or they just like voting in person, the county has worked to pick large venues in an effort to avoid the massive lines that we saw in 2018, which is part of what you're looking at now. Masks and gloves will be provided for voters who need them. Volunteers will wear PPE, and they're going to sanitize the pens and voting booths after every use. The early voting window also extended by 2 weeks.
Places where we will be able to house plenty of voters indoors, not outside in the heat in lines, plenty of social distancing, and a lot of robust choices for folks to make. Plenty of time ahead, and I would argue that we're going to have the single most accessible election in the history of Maricopa County.
So some important dates for you to know. 50 more voting centers will open next Wednesday, and then the rest will follow shortly after that. The last day to request a ballot by mail is next Friday. July 29th is the last day to mail in your ballot, and of course, Election Day is August 4th. And keep in mind, guys, if this is a successful model, we will likely see a repeat come November. Back to you.